Thinking about day trading? Imagine this. It's 9:30 a.m. The iconic bell has ding-dinged and the markets are now open. You click on your mouse. You have just 7 stocks on your watch list today. You move them to the top of your trading list. 3 of them look promising. While waiting for entry conditions, you top off your coffee, sit back and relax. You smile. It didn't used to be this easy. In fact, you think back to a time not too long ago when you had the exact opposite experience happen to you every day. It was like some bizarro trading world where everything you did was wrong, losing your money hand over fist. Your stress levels and blood pressure was the only thing going up and reaching ever higher highs. All the while, your trading account reaching new equity lows. Now your smile widens at the thought of this because it will never be like that again. Now you know better. And the big difference is that now you have a proven and profitable plan. You follow this to the letter. You no longer jump around from stock to stock or from one trading method to the next because you have something that works. Like clockwork, day in, day out. The process you have is now just like a production line. This process finds, filter and sorts stocks ready to trade and profit from. This is proven, profitable and 100% repeatable. Only the best stocks and setups get the seal of approval. A trade sets up, the trade goes on. Just like a production line. And pop, back to reality. Now this doesn't have to be an imagined future. In fact, for many of my students, this is their daily reality. We've got 2 Stevens. Stephen on the left says it's easy to follow and profitable. Phil takes you through everything that you need and will answer all your questions as you go. Steve on the right says this is extremely accurate and profitable. It saves me from having to spend too much time at the charts. So why should you listen to me about mastering day trading stocks? My name's Phil Newton. I've been trading the financial markets since 2001 full time, and since the mid-90s I was hand drawing charts. I've been calling my trades in real time since 2004. Now, I'm just a regular guy who's been studying and trading the markets for a little over 20 years now. And I've been lucky enough and successful enough to be trading full time since 2001 for a living. I'm not a Wall Street guru and I never worked in the city, and my oh so clever and general business degree isn't worth the paper it's written on. Now, I have traded for and ran my own successful fund with assets under management of around 10 million. And thankfully that was a brief situation. It was significantly less glamorous than it made out to be, and these days I'd rather just trade my own money and help people trade their own money. I specialised in Forex for 12 years. I've traded futures, stock options, and most markets for over 20 years. Currently, I specialise exclusively in stocks and options and have done since 2010. In fact, that's the one thing that I do consider myself to be an expert in, and that's making money and creating wealth from trading the financial markets. And I've coached and mentored thousands of students all around the world, from high up as institutions, banks, hedge funds, all the way down to just guys like you and me who want to trade the financial market as a retail trader and make a success of that. And I know that I'm successful, and I know that my students are successful because I do it every single day in real time. That means at the hard right edge of the chart without the benefits of hindsight. Just like Vive produced $4 per share, if you have 1,000 shares traded, that's $4,000 per share. Again, you've got the before and after, and we've got the screenshot of my broker statement there. It's all documented. We've got Goose, a bearish trade. We can profit from the market selling off. We can sell at the high price and buy back at the low price. This is called selling short if you're not familiar with the concept. Again, before shot on the left, the stock gap down, we trade pullbacks, we look for continuation moves, and over on the right there, we can see that continuation move along with the broker statements. We made 93 cents per share. Multiply that out by the number of shares. If you're trading 1,000 shares, it's $930. Roku, $2 per share if you're trading 1,000 shares. On the left, we have the before. The stock gapped up, it created pullbacks. That's what we do here. I don't hide what we're doing here. On the right there, we can see the outcome. $2 per share, 1,000 shares, $2,000. And all of this is done. This is a 2-minute chart. All of this was done in less than 30 minutes. So inside of this stock day trading course, the first thing that we're going to do is create a stock universe, because there are tens of thousands of stocks listed on the US markets, and not everyone is worth looking at. So here are a few of the secrets that you're going to be given to help you find, filter, and sort stocks like a day trading professional. We're going to be the master of the universe. Now, this is the #1 method to discover the best stocks to scan for in your universe. What I mean by this is I'm only looking at a pool of around 500 stocks. That's my universe. The other stocks, the 27, odd thousand stocks, I'm not looking at penny stocks. I'm not looking at over-the-counter stocks. They're not worth my time. As we saw previously, I'm looking for stocks that move. So as such, this one method will save you hours of research time every single day. You're never again going to spend hours flicking through charts trying to figure out the one stock to trade. So we're going to discover the universe system. We'll learn that all stocks are not created equally, and we can get rid of the worst stocks for good. We're going to filter out all the worst stocks before you even look at a chart, let alone an entry setup. It's a quick way to find stocks which outperform the markets daily. We've got, in most charting platforms, we have, I'd like to say a secret tool, but it is the best kept secret, but it's in public availability. In most charting software, this tool comes as standard to help us figure out stocks which outperform the market every day. And if you don't want to do that, that's cool. You can always download a copy of my list. I go through this every couple of months to make sure that I'm looking at the best, the freshest, most active stocks. It's completely done for you, and that is a part of the program. So while you're learning, you get an immediate access to your own universe of stocks. It's the same one that I'm looking at. There's so much more included that help us figure out these stocks. This is just really the highlights. Now, Steve, just to remind you that it's not just me saying that you can do this process, it's my students. Stephen on the left there, using these processes and systems to find, filter, and sort stocks, he made $920. It says right there. I started using my live accounts, and he's closed 3 stocks and made $920 in the past week. He's very happy, and he can certainly live with that. Now, Rob's over here in the UK with me. He's doing something a little bit different. He's doing something called spread betting, and with a very small account. So what he's experiencing is one of the benefits, well, not necessarily a benefit, but it is obviously a positive benefit. But his account's up 75%, and he's got some restrictions because of minimum account sizes. It's just the nature of the beast that we have here in the UK with spread betting. But following the same process with risk control and profit executions, we have an account that is up 75% since starting trading with this method. And if you're ready to get going now, all you need to do is click the button below this video. If you think it's right for you, then follow the process, click the button, and I'll see you on the inside. What else is inside this stock trading course? So essentially, you can finish trading by your mid-morning coffee break. Or, depending on where you are in the world, it could be mid-afternoon. The point is that you're going to receive critical information about profiting from stocks without any complicated algorithms or expensive indicators. We're going to zoom in on the exact stocks to trade every day. And as we've already illustrated, in most days, you can be done in just 90 minutes a day. On one of the 2 of the other trades that we've looked at so far, we were done in less than 30 minutes. And that's where I like to spend my time. We're going to look at the 3 times of day to find these jumping jack stocks. You can figure them out right now. It's a pre-market scan, a post-market scan, and the market open scan. Now, I'm a little bit lazy from time to time, so I can use the market opening scan. I basically just click a list on my little spreadsheets of stocks, and it says these are the stocks that we need to look at today. And this is my personal favorite method to create an on-demand list of stocks to do and to trade every single day at the opening bell. I also include free the TradeStation tool that I use. I had it custom coded to make it even easier. So all you need to do is click, and you'll be given a list of stocks that meets the pre-market scan criteria as well as the opening bell scan. Now, when you know this method and the process, you basically create your daily watch list with a single double click of the mouse. Anyway, as such, built into the process, we avoid this one mistake that most novice traders make when they pick a stock to day trade. So by avoiding the mistakes, and if you only focus on the successes, then you can start to grow your account. We're also going to discover the secrets of trade it, fade it, evade it. Now, when you know this, every method and strategy that you use now or in the future is going to make so much sense. This is one of the key cornerstone components to not just this strategy, but every strategy that I trade. And I typically get people to do this even if they're trading other methods. It's a complementary process that makes everything that you do after it so much easier. And you're going to be armed with the essential tactics to show you what strategy to use to profit from every day. Again, we don't want to waste time flicking through charts. We want to zoom in on the best opportunity. So we focus on always a quick way to speed things up or slow things down. Again, one of the things that I don't know about you is your personal situation, and your time is precious. So we all have different commitments from day to day, so we can speed things up. If you've got a little bit more time, you can speed things up and be done in 20 to 30 minutes, or you can slow things down. And again, you might have meetings to attend, you might have other regular day-to-day commitments, and you can slow things down. So you can find your perfect time frame to essentially trade without worrying about, Phil said I've got to trade 2-minute charts. If you don't have the time to do it, to trade a 60-minute chart or trade a 30-minute chart. So that's what we mean by speed things up and slow things down, and we can figure that out together. Now again, when you apply this process, you can basically trade more passively or actively depending on your specific and unique situation. We also look at 3Rs. Now this keeps you selecting the right setups at the right time every time. Now, 3Rs has nothing to do with pirates, although it will lead you to stock market treasures, as if X did mark the spot. I'm also going to show you the secret stock pattern that a 23-year-old institutional market veteran sketched out to me over brunch more than 15 years ago. Now, Mrs. B, if you are by any chance watching this, we will all thank you for this revelation. Now, this pattern has never been seen before or written about in any textbook that I've read, or for that matter, as I've scoured the internet, but it's almost as if the professional traders don't want you to know about it. And this is an institutional pattern that was explained to me on the back of a napkin. Now you're going to know this too. And it helps us produce profits, as we've mentioned, but it's also about controlling the losses. So I'm going to show you some of the losses. Not everyone wants to do this, but I'm fully transparent with what I do. Here's the statement. This is a losing trade. I lost 49 cents per share as a loss. So if you're trading 100 shares, $49. But with risk control, what I'm trying to highlight is that the losses are small. Again, there's the broker statement to prove that we took a loss. I want to demonstrate that it's not just the winning trades that we show here. Now, this one was a break-even trade. It's 9-cent profit. Essentially, it's a break-even trade as far as I'm concerned. But this is one of the parameters that we put in place with money management and risk control. We've got the before shot, again, gapping down, sell the pullbacks in this case. And we have a small loss here. Now, this timed out and gave me an exit condition. So with risk control, we keep the losses small or we basically cut the trades that are not performing well so that we're not wasting time. And this is why we are solely focused on being done in the first 30 to 90 minutes, because it helps us to, again, risk control, keep the losses small, and then run our profits when we see them. Again, just like this one. So MU, this was in this case, a 37% per share profits. It doesn't sound much, but this is a lower dollar stock now, so you get to multiply that out by the number of shares. So with risk control, if you're risking X number of dollars per trade, then you can, with smaller stocks, you can start to increase. Instead of 500 shares, you might trade 1,000. Instead of 1,000, you might trade 2,000. Again, we go through this position sizing in the training. But this is a stock that we probably would have traded, or I would have traded 2,000 shares. So you can see that you can increase position size. So this, for me, was a runner. It's not one of the glorious $4 or $2 per shares on the $100+ stocks. Again, this is a $30 stock. This is a runner for this stock. Very nice morning move. And we have a nice 37 cents per share profit. Gilead Scientific, again, the before shot on the left. This again is a 30-minute chart, so if you want to slow things down a little bit, you can trade this across higher time frames for day trading profits. It just slows things down for you, especially when you're a newer trader. You might not want to be on a fast time frame like a 2-minute chart, and that's cool. And that's what we meant earlier by speeding things up and slowing things down. Again, another profit, we have a runner, 63 cents per share. This is again 1,000 shares, $630. And again, you're done in around about 90 minutes to 2 hours. So it's a very simple process to follow that find, filter, and sort opportunities. And if you're ready to join us, just click the button below and we can get started. Now, what else do we have? So this next, what's included inside the training, this is where the real profits are made. Trade management, as we've been literally just discussing, is where the real secret to profitable trading lays. Now, the sexy stuff is always the entry patterns. How do you really make money day trading? It's with the trade management. So we're going to discover and learn that you're never going to enter a trade half-cocked. We discuss this like a production line. And that's what we want to experience. So just like the origins of the saying, never enter a trade half-cocked, this is going to help us protect against the misfire. And it's built into the process of what we do. And in trading, you're only ever going to pull the trigger when everything is primed and ready. We're also going to look at why market orders are the worst thing that you can practically do physically and emotionally. We want to place your trade the right way every time. Another thing that I often get asked about is stocks or options. There's no right solution here. A lot of it is personal preference. When I'm day trading, typically it's stocks. We can use spread betting or CFDs if we so wish, if that choice is available to you. But you've also got the choice for options if you so wish as well. Now, trading stock is fine. And if you've got a small account, one of the things that we can do is use options to help with that. Now, it's less capital intensive way to trade. And we can look at what is essentially a stock replacement strategy if you want to use options instead of stock, again, because of small account restrictions. What we can also look at is we can confidently and without stress sidestep what I believe is a redundant day trading rule, the pattern day trader rule. And we can legally sidestep that with the systems and the processes that we use to find, filter, and sort stocks. We also learned why trailer trash is full of gold. Now, this method, this money management method, allows you to lock in profits on moves. And the best thing of all is you can automate it on the entry. Now, this is great if you've got even less time than you would ideally like on days on a regular basis. It means that you can put your trade on and you can have your trailing management done automatically for you by most brokers. And again, it can be automated on the entry. You can set it and just check in later, a few hours later, and see where price is. You'll either have made a profit. If you've got something that you're happy with, you can obviously close it. We also look at the trader's naughty step, the timeout. You heard me mention it before. So we're going to know when to exit trades to maximize day trading profits. As we saw earlier, if you need to cut the trade because it's not working out, again, I'm looking for fast profits. I don't want to wait all day for a few pennies profits. So we're going to basically time out trades for both profits and minimize losses, and just chop the dead wood. We can also turn a winning trade into weekly profits, and this is another way to legally sidestep the pattern day trader rule and bag potentially big profits. And essentially we can turn a day trade into a swing trade, essentially, and that just means holding overnight for a few days. It might be that there's opportunities to hold for several days and get one trade and get the elusive 10 bagger on the go, and we can use this really low risk day trade entry to get positioned on a swing trade. And I do this quite regularly because I'm trading multiple strategies. It's not essential, but the choice is there to convert a trade into a swing trade if it makes sense. We can also use the same process to turn a loser into a winner, again further managing our risk control. Again, I've had this many times. We avoid the pattern day trader rule. We could turn that it's not going anywhere lost trade into a winner with the same philosophy. It turns a dead duck into a break-even trade. It does require a little bit of patience, but you will find out tomorrow if your dead duck can be turned into that goose that lays the golden egg. Because sometimes, a trade just needs a little bit of time to get going, and if there's that swing opportunity in there, then we can flip that bad boy round into a profit. STLD, we have, again, another trade example. Again, I'm trying to illustrate to you that these setups develop every single day, and STLD was no exception. This was a 2-minute chart entry on the left and the 10-minute chart on the right. Again, near the end of the day, we see a very nice profit. We have a 60 cents per share profit. This is, again, another lower dollar stock. So instead of 500 or 1,000, you might trade 1,000 or 2,000 shares. At 1,000 shares, this is going to be $600 profit. Oracle, we have 36 cents per share. Again, this is another stock that met our pre-market scan stocks gap. Really highlight that something crazy is about to happen on this stock, and I want to be a part of that. This turned out to be a 36 cent per share profits. Again, this was done in around about 90 minutes. This was based off the 10-minute chart this time. So what I'm highlighting more than anything, because we've gone across a few different time frames, I can speed things up or slow things down depending on what my commitments are. If I don't feel like trading a 2-minute chart, I don't have to trade. I can trade a 10-minute chart or a 30-minute chart or a 60-minute chart. If I'm feeling a little bit slow and sluggish, or I've got other things to do during the day, then I can slow things down and use the higher time frames. And this is no exception. This was a slow, lazy trade, but guess what? In 90 minutes, it produced a profit. That's all we're interested in. Does the strategy, does the system work? And if you're in agreement, then just click the button below and let's get started on helping you with day trading profits. So also we're going to look at basically what it takes to be long-term successful. I want to be in business for the long run. I don't want to be short-term lucky. So next we're going to focus on one of the single most subjects of all, and again that's more money management, but this time from the perspective of account management rather than trade management. So we want to avoid a catastrophic meltdown in your trading account. So many traders blow their accounts up because they're not managing the account. They're just thinking about how much I'm going to make on profit today on the one trade, and they're not thinking about their overall account. Now, in an ironic twist, this is one of the subjects that's most often overlooked in most courses, most programs, most teachings, but not this time. Here you're going to learn a unique and controversial approach to getting the best of both capital growth and capital preservation. Those two things don't always seem to agree with each other. People either trade for growth or preservation. That's normally how it's taught. So what we're going to do, and this is why it's controversial, and when I've explained this to banks and institutions, it literally blows their minds, because everyone wants growth and everyone wants preservation, but getting the best of both at the same time is a unique balance, and I explain how to do this so that you can manage your account most effectively. Now, this simple money management technique will help you minimize your risk and preserve capital while balancing that with the optimal way to maximize growth. You're going to avoid churn like the plague. And that's basically like a ranging stock chart. Up a day, down a day, up a day, down a day. Chop, 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 churn, churn, churn. You're going to avoid that with this process. As such, you will never reduce your position size. Ever. You're only ever going to increase your position size when you know this process. So you'll never reduce your position size again when you understand this process. And when you have a drawdown period in your trading, because again, I'm not gonna BS you. You will have a losing phase. Everyone has bad periods of trading, either practically from the markets or emotionally. There's lots of reasons why things happen. It will happen, but with this technique of managing your account, you're going to accelerate out of a drawdown period 2 or 3 or 5 times faster than it took you to get into it. Using this method is like a reverse gear in a drawdown phase. If we imagine a car, we're in reverse gear. There's only one gear to slow down as you are in a drawdown phase. So it protects your capital. So one gear for the losing phase. But with this process, during the winning phases, you're going to have 5 gears to accelerate out of the drawdown phase and into new equity highs. That's the idea with this. So you've got 5 gears to accelerate your capital growth. We also look at what everyone should know about textbook position sizing and why it's killing your results. And again, this process is going to help you understand that. It helps us produce profits like CELG. This is 51 cents per share. Again, before shot on the left, after shot on the right, and a nice little snapshot of my broker statement. A 51 cent gain. On 1,000 shares, you're looking at $510. And again, this was done again in the first 90 minutes of trading. This was on a 10-minute chart this time. These trades happen every single day. This is BHC, 25 cents per share. A loss this time. Again, this timed out. We have the 2-minute chart on the left, the 10-minute chart on the right for reference. That's why they look a little bit different. But again, I want to highlight that we do have losses, but the losses are small. They're managed, they're controlled, they're contained. So that when we have them, we can accelerate out. This is a win. It was also a win. $1.92 per share profits. The same entry, gaps, pullbacks, and we get a nice run on price. 2-minute chart on the left, 10-minute chart on the right, just for reference, so you can see that there's a little bit difference. And of course, as usual, broker statements on the right. Proof on the date that we were talking about that this made $1.92 per share. Again, if you're trading 1,000 shares, you're looking at $1,920 profits. It's not just me. These are my trading results. Your trading results are obviously going to be different. My students tell me that they followed my system. Phil, I made 3% in my first month. This is on the account. This is account growth. Then 20% in month 2. Now I'm averaging 8% to 12% returns every single month. We can see on the left there, I got a message via Skype saying, talking about a very first successful trade. X is the stock, US Steel, $125 in two days. Turned it around from a day trade into a little swing trade, and eventually closed for $142. Some industry leaders, my peers, also tell me that well, you know what? I know what I'm talking about. It's not just me saying I'm great. It's other people, obviously, who know what we're talking about. My students, once again, Badar over on the left there, I've stuck to the strategy you taught me, and I've made 30% in my trading account. Steve made $920 in the past week. My account's up over 75%. And again, just in case you need the evidence, there's the screenshot at the top right there. Steve has closed his words. It's not me saying that this strategy is good. It's my students are able to replicate this process. And that, for me, is the most important thing with any strategy. It's easy to follow and profitable. I take you through everything that you need to go through. I help you along the way. It's extremely accurate and profitable. You don't have to spend time looking through chart after chart after chart. We've already looked at Steve's comments, made $920, accounts up over 75%. This process works because it's replicatable. So what are your next steps? Below this video, you're going to see a yes, let's get started button. When you click that, you're going to be taken to the checkout page, and you've got two choices. You can choose the course access only, and the second choice there is if you want me to hop on a call with you, I'll give you an accelerated version of this program so we can get you up and running in a very short space of time with some one-on-one private coaching. You've got two choices there. Choose the one that's most relevant to you. After you've chosen whichever one you choose, you'll have immediate access to the day trading course, and you can go through the setups and the processes and the strategies. You'll be invited to a Slack group. We've got a small community of people that are all invested in finding these stocks. I also post what I'm looking at for the day ahead, so you'll get access to the stocks that I'm looking at trading. So if you can't do the research yourself or you don't have time, again, life happens, you'll have a copy of what I'm looking at trading for the day ahead. So that's what you'll see after you've clicked the buy button below, and I'll see you on the inside.